Bonjour from Paris. Yes, I'm wearing a French hat I actually just got today from the art show that was going on downtown. We went to church this morning, and as we were going out, we saw this art show. It's so cute. It's like a rain hat, all in one. Super cool. I know it's been a while since I've vlogged, and so I just wanted to update you guys on some things that it's going on here. I'll take this off now. And you can roll it up. It's perfect. You roll it, it's like a rain hat. It's so cute. So, hello everybody. Thank you guys for just keeping up with me and loving on me and leaving me comments and sending me scriptures and lots of love. I'm sitting on the balcony of our house that we're at. It's pretty. There's a park over there. If you guys read my last blog, over there is where Rose came to know Christ, and it was really amazing, and we've had a lot of amazing encounters. I just kind of want to start by what we're doing here and what we've been doing. We got here almost 2 weeks ago. Actually, it's been 2 weeks now. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. It's crazy how much. We only have 10 days left here in Paris. And we have been working mainly with the refugees. And a lot of you might think refugees, Syrians. I've only met one Syrian. A lot of them are from Sudan, and they have fled the country due to war and safety reasons, because it's not peaceful and things are going corrupt and really bad. A lot of them have left their family. A lot of them, their family died on the way here, and met a lot of Afghans as well. Majority of them are Muslim because they were raised Muslim and they don't know any difference. I'm trying to convey how I feel, and I'm not very good at that, those that know me. And so I just want to tell you a couple of stories. One story that has made the top of the list. There's many, many, many stories. In fact, I just went down there. I'll start with this, kind of what's happened and how it looks. So Porte La Chapelle is on about an hour tram ride from here. And we've been hopping on the tram in the mornings, in the afternoons, and going over to where they stay. There's thousands of refugees out on the street. They have shut down any trams because there's tents all over the tramway and all of the rails and under the bridges on the streets. There's no cars driving, the streets are shut down because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of refugees. So we've been going over there and talking to them and just looking at them and hearing their stories and trying to show them the love of Christ, and just loving on them as much as possible and actually paying attention to them. They don't want to be here. They're just trying to find a safer way, and France just hasn't been able to accommodate them the way that they thought that they were going to be able to accommodate them. They do have one center for refugees there, and we call it the bubble. It's like a huge bubble, but they go in there for a day and then they're placed out. We mainly work with men because the women are, they go inside the bubble and they get placed that day with their children. So the women and children, those that are here, are placed outside of Paris in homes, in houses. So we've been working a lot with men, majority of them. A lot of them just left their families behind and just trying to come here and trying to find a place. And so 2 days ago, all the refugees, they have formed a community there. They have left their community and then they formed their community there. 2 days ago, the immigrant office in France decided, and we didn't find this out till the night of because it's very secretive, but they decided to uproot all of the refugees at 4 o'clock in the morning out of their tents and off their pallets and where they've been sleeping in their community and their family, and put them on a bus and take them to a refugee camp. And we were actually at the refugee camp when they arrived, and it was about an hour ride from where they were. And for me, it was just heartbreaking because they had just formed a community there, and then all of a sudden they were just getting woken up in the morning and just taken out. And I was really scared for them and really sad for them because I'd made friends with a lot of them in close relationships, and I was scared I wasn't going to be able to see them again. But me and a friend stayed up and we prayed over the camp, and we prayed over them and just for peace in their hearts and comfort them, and that everything would go smoothly. And when they picked specific people to go and get them off the buses and walk them into the refugee camp, and I was one of the people that got selected to go and get them off the bus. And I was just trying to wear the biggest Christ-like smile I can wear because I was sad, but I couldn't show it. And when they got off the bus, they were smiling and they were happy, and it made my heart so happy because I was scared that they were going to be super upset. There was police everywhere with their shields and like their whole entire gear on. And then we were looking up in the apartments that were around because this is a really fancy neighborhood, and there were police in the windows, just snipers with rifles, and just it was very alarming and very kind of scary at the same time. But these refugees, I feel like they wouldn't harm anybody. They're just trying to find a way. And so France did a really good job, and the immigrant office did a really good job to bring them to this camp. This camp is awesome. They're going to stay there for 2 weeks and then head out. But the best thing is whenever one of my friends got off the bus, I saw him and I could not be, I was so happy. I ran and gave him a hug, and he was just hugging me. I was like, "You okay?" And he was like, "Yes, I'm okay." And so it just made my heart super happy. So it really well. We went back yesterday to Porte de la Chapelle, not to the refugee camp, and everything is running. The train, since we've been here, it hasn't been happening. The train isn't running, and nothing had been running down there, and tents were just everywhere, and trash was everywhere. We went down there, and literally it's like they planted bushes overnight. It was beautiful. The tram's running. There's no tents anywhere. They uprooted all the tents and everything. So that's that. But I just want to tell you a story. I'm looking at my notes, which story am I going to tell now? I had a couple of mine, but I just feel like I'm led to tell some other stories now. All of my people. Okay, I think I'm going to leave you with a story, and then I might add some more stories in later, but my world got rocked like crazy. This has never happened to me before. The craziest experience I've ever experienced before happened to me. The first day in Porte de la Chapelle, I think it was the second day, Utopia 56, we were praying in the morning, doing ATL, just asked the Lord, and I got this, I wrote down the word blind man, and we just needed connections. We had no connections whatsoever. And then some other people said some other things, and our team's just so awesome. We came together after ATL and came together, and everybody's matched up. It was the craziest thing ever. One of the other girls had a beat up guy, and I had blind. Well, lo and behold, we go, and there is a blind guy walking down the street. So we chase after him, and he takes us to Nathan. He followed this guy and was praying for him because they were showering on the street, all the guys were, so me and Mariah didn't feel led to go and follow, so we went somewhere else. Anyways, we ended up running into Utopia 56, which we're going to have to pay $110 to get into a refugee camp. They told us we had to pay $10, which we didn't even pay anything. They just let us in that day. We didn't have to fill out any paperwork or anything. It was really awesome. Anyways, which led to this story. Rabbit trail, sorry. Squirrel. So I'm sitting there working outside the camp. We were feeding them. It was lunchtime, and there was a huge line, and this guy comes up out of nowhere, and I'm trying to keep people in line, making sure nobody's cutting in the line to get food. They were serving, I think, a piece of bread and fruit, and that's normally what they get all day until the next morning, or maybe, they just don't eat a lot at all. However, came up to me and try to speak to me in Arabic, and I'm like, no, I know English. And so he got out his phone, and he Google Translate, started using Google Translate to translate from Arabic to English, and basically he told me, or this is what he told me, he said, God showed me your face and told me I need to talk to you and ask you about Jesus. Who is this Jesus? And it literally, like, my heart, like, stopped. I, like, looked around, I was like, what just happened? Like, what is going on? This has never happened to me before. Like, literally, like, just the craziest thing. And I was like, okay. So, like, running back, and I was like, how are you? Like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I didn't know if it was crazy or, like, I just didn't know. Like, I just didn't know. Anyway, come to find out, he didn't know anything about Jesus. He had heard that he was a prophet, but he didn't know any stories. He didn't know anything, and he was a Muslim, and he just wanted to know more about this Jesus and this love. And he said, your smile, he's like, your laugh, your everything. He's like, you so love. And I was like, yes, that's Jesus and me. Like, that's me showing Jesus. And so since then, we've been able to meet and do a Discovery Bible, which is like just talk about the Bible. And he's just like immersed in the Word of God. And his name is Joseph, and he's so lovely. In fact, yesterday I hadn't seen him since the uproot, and the police came and took them and put them on buses, and I was scared I had lost him. And I told him the day before all this stuff went down that I would meet him. I would meet him Saturday at 3:00 under the tree. And yesterday I went to meet him at 3, and nobody was there. There was not even any refugees. There was maybe 10 underneath the bridge. So I just went over and started talking to me, and Hakeem went over and started talking. And around 5:00, I get this tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Joseph. He got placed in a home that was an hour and a half walk, and he was trying to make it on time, and he just didn't know how long it would take him. And he walked an hour and a half to hear 2 stories about Jesus. And then we had to leave, but it's just amazing to see the love that they want. Like, they want to hear, and they want that love so bad. They know there's a peace that passes all understanding, and whenever we speak the name of Jesus, it's just like this peace that comes over these men. They've never heard of this before, and they've never experienced anything like it. And I was just telling my team yesterday that it's just amazing to see these men who have traveled for days upon days upon days, that come from war, and a lot of them have scars and wounds, and you just don't ask about it. You just talk to them and hear their story. And a lot of them don't have families anymore because they've all been killed. And to see them want to hear little Bible stories that we heard when we were little kids, because we were so fortunate enough to be raised in a church, and to hear that love that God has for us, and for them to be so humbled to listen, it's like I can't even explain it. Yesterday when I was underneath the bridge, me and my friend Bradley, Joseph, and then there's this other guy named Zachary. He's like our little disciple now. I met him 3-4 days ago. No, it's been longer than that. It's been a while. But we told him about Jesus, and he loves Jesus now, and he just wants to tell everybody about Jesus. So I call him my little disciple, and he goes out, and he speaks English and Arabic, so I'm like, come translate for me. And so he is always the one that's like translating. Anyways, he was there yesterday too. I got to see him as well, and I hadn't seen him, and I thought I would never see him again. So I was like having the time of my life yesterday. I posted a picture. You might have seen it. Those are actually new people that I just met. But anyways, sorry, this is a really long video. I'm like 14 minutes. Sorry. I'm almost done. But like, so Joseph was there, and Zachary was there, and then my new friend Sammy was there, and he just wanted to know more. He's like, we don't have that book. Can you tell us more stories? We don't have that book, which they're talking about the Bible. And all of a sudden, like, before I knew it, there was like 4 of us, and there was like 10 of us, and then there's like 15 of us, and I was in the circle, and I'd call my friend Bradley over to tell more stories, so he was in the circle, and these men were literally, like, heads would be like right here, and they were like literally on their tiptoes peeking over to try to hear and listen, and their ears were in like this, like, okay, no, wait, I didn't understand, let him translate. And so like he would translate, and they're like, what? And they'd ask words, and my favorite question that majority of them ask, my favorite question, and it's so tenderhearted. They look at you, and I feel like these are the only words they know. They look at you, and they look at you like straight in your eyes, and they go, is this true? And I say yes. From the bottom of my heart, I can tell you this is truth. This is real. This happened. And he loves you so, so much. Please just continue to be praying for our team as we go out and reach these refugees. I think we're going to try to start working with a lot more of the French side of people, or the French side of people, the French, and just that we come into contact with people that need to hear the gospel, which is like the majority of the people here, whether they're refugees or not, and that we would be obedient, and that we'd be humbled, and that so much in front of God that we'll do whatever He asks us to do. I love you all so much. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to update. I love y'all so, 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 so much. I appreciate you guys for everything that you've done for me, and for all those that watch this. I hope it blesses you, and I love you. Au revoir. Ciao.